Hello. Thought we'd take this opportunity to do a little live. We're going to wait till hopefully some people jump on, but we want to share some very interesting information we've come across. And like I said, we're going to give it just a minute till we see some people jump on because we did this last minute and unexpectedly. And want to give people an opportunity to see that we've gone live and to join. So
hope everybody's having their great weekend.
Yes, unfortunately, it is Sunday evening, and that means tomorrow's work week.
To work.
All right, so we got a couple of people starting to join. So thank you. Yep.
I can't see it.
It's right here, honey.
Where? Oh.
Anyway, like I said, we had a situation come up where we noticed a very unique situation.
Hi, Ron.
2 years ago, over 2 years, back in March of 2019, we were called to a private home investigation. And the lady was explaining to us that there was a negative spirit in the house, and she felt like it was controlling her thoughts. She felt it was attacking her at night, and I believe she even said raping her at night.
Something, right. Hey, is this the one that we did a residential investigation with Joe?
No,
it's just you and I.
It was just you and I.
Okay.
Yes. So this was, like I said, this was a while ago, but want to share some of the clips that have come up.
Let me say hello first to Michelle LeBaron and Ron, Kathy, and our coworker, Kathy. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
So anyway, we went over there in 2019, and we realized she did very much so have a spirit in her house, a very negative one.
Mm-hmm.
And when the investigation concluded, we removed it. We did all sorts of sage prayers. We salted the doors, the windows. I can't remember what else we did.
Mm-hmm.
But then once we forced it out, it threatened me. And we're going to play those clips for you. In fact, let me start with the first one. This was one of the pieces of evidence that was caught on a DVR camera that she set up as we had asked her to see if we could get any evidence from this thing coming into her bedroom at night. Mm-hmm. So the camera ran. And when she sent it over to me, you could hear this entity speak. And she knew it was there, and she was asking it questions. But the entity's voice was so garbled that you couldn't understand what it was saying. So we took the file and tried to clean up what the entity was saying. But in that process, what had happened is that it destroyed what the homeowner was saying. So you can now hear the entity, but what you can't hear is the questions that she's asking. You can hear her speak, but you can't understand what she's saying. But the questions that she asked were things like, who are you? What's your name? Why are you in my house? What are you doing here? So I'm going to start out by playing this clip so you have an idea what we're referring to. Here's that clip. Okay.
Wow. I remember that time we did that.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, this was only one clip where this entity was communicating and even gave its name, Alec Labundi, which clear as day, you can hear that. But this was crazy. And with the other complaints that the woman was saying, what it was doing to her, Cherie and I removed it. I don't think it was the only spirit in the house, but it was definitely the most dominant one. So we removed this entity back in 2019. And here, what I'm going to play next is what it said directly to me once we forced it out.
Spirits hates you, huh?
Only ones that we do that to. Otherwise, I get along with them pretty well. But this one was not happy. So here was the response when we made this spirit or spirits leave the building. Here's that clip. And they shouldn't be able to come back in as the entryways are now blocked. So that was the response after we finished cleaning the building. And when we heard that, we thought, okay, and kind of kept our eyes and ears open, knowing that this thing could come back. Well, now here's where the story gets really interesting. Last night, actually a couple days ago, excuse me, we had gotten information about a case in Vegas. And it was a very similar situation. Had to deal, and I'm not getting into any detail because obviously these are private home investigations. We're really sharing this for a couple of reasons. One, we want other investigators to know what negative entities can do, what their abilities allow them to do, and that time makes no difference whatsoever. So now, more than 2 years later, we hear of this situation that I was explaining. There was a woman who was being affected and very negatively, being told the most negative thoughts, possibly even again being molested or abused by this entity. So now whether this is an incubus or a succubus, don't believe it's demonic. Pretty hard to figure that.
Just bad spirits.
With a name like Alec Labundi. If it is the same spirit, but the voice is so similar. So anyway, I get sent some EVP recordings, and it was lengthy, and there were tons of them. But I'm going through it, and this is one of the very first things I hear in listening to this new case 2 years later. Here is that clip. more than 2 years later.
Can we play that again?
Let me play that again. Same message, clearly said, and we're back. And this is from somebody I don't even know. They reached out for some help on this case. And this is one of the first things I hear. So, yeah, I mean, obviously this thing knows me. And then we started tracking it back where we could have run into it. And then we remembered the case we did over 2 years ago. And this is the same spirit. The message given to me clearly states my name, clearly knows me, and reiterates the message it gave me when we kicked it out. So just want other investigators to know. And if I'm looking at the chat room, I see tons of investigators who are in the chat room. If you've got comments, if you've got suggestions, we knew this was possible. We knew this thing would show its ugly head again at some point. But if you've got thoughts, if you've run into this yourself, we've run into similar spirits all the time, just not negative ones. And this one clearly wanted me to know, and probably knew that this information would go to us. It knew that if it left that message, I would hear it. And so, if anybody's got thoughts, if anybody's got, we're not definitely backing down from it. We had a friend go out there over the weekend. We weren't able to join due to the fact that we didn't know he was going. But we are going to try to make a point as some other information unfolds as to when we might be able to get out there.
Where's this place again?
Vegas, honey.
Okay.
To see if we can get back out there to maybe help again. But just a very strange situation, and something that really shocked me when I first started listening to the EVPs, and to come across that message right up front was clearly intended for me to recognize who it was, what it was, and that it knew.
Yeah, when you share that video to me, I'm like, it's exactly the same voice like we had.
Correct.
The residential investigation with.
Correct. And because this is obviously a private.
Sorry, I can't say the name because it's.
Right. This is a private home investigation. And so was the other clip we played from, although we were given permission from that woman to share. But the one currently in process, hold on, Cherie's pointing out. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay, Gerard Simonelli says, I got cursed out several times. We've been cursed out thousands of times. It's really not the fact that we got cursed out. It's the fact that it showed up again, and it's doing the same thing to somebody else. And he says, myself and Ron, the Yak Man, had a session which we both got cursed out during a home investigation. Yeah, I mean, we've experienced that hundreds of times. Being cursed out is no big deal. It's the fact that this was the same entity, the fact that it showed up in a whole other state 2+ years later, and the first message caught on EVP wasn't even directed to the people who did the recording. It was directed directly to us. And so that's what makes it a little bit, little bit uneasy, but we took care of it once, we'll take care of it again. So I'm not concerned about that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have any, tactics how to, if we're going back to Las Vegas to investigate this home residential? So what, do you have any plans?
We got rid of it the first time
Okay.
using the methods we used. We'll do that again to get rid of it. And then, of course, if we need help, we know who to call.
Right. Ghostbuster.
This is serious. So anyway, wanted to share that because it's really interesting stuff. And now I lost my train of thought again because Cherie's cracking jokes. This really isn't funny. This is serious. What I played for you was just a tiny amount of the information that was in the EVPs. Can't share any of that because it is a private home investigation, and obviously these people's identity and ability of keeping that private will always be respected by us. But wanted to share the fact that, you know, spirits do have the ability to move around. Just because you've kicked them out of one location, they will come back. They can even probably after a while go back to the same location. But this one showed up somewhere else, and just found that fascinating. So we will see what information comes from this in the next couple of days. We will talk to our friend who went out there over the weekend, see what new information he comes back with. But we wanted to share this with other investigators because this is the reality of it. This is what happens. This is, you know, they exist. You know, spirits can't be created or destroyed. Their energy, and whether that be positive energy or negative energy, they're going to continue to exist even when expelled from a location. And this clearly shows that this has happened 2 months, 3 months
Right.
later. And it has not forgotten what we did, and it doesn't sound happy. So anyway, wanted to share that. If anyone has anything to add or anything they want to say before we close this down.
Yeah, let's say thank you first for all our audience that tune in tonight. It's Christopher Sanders, of course, Ron Iacovetti, Mike Bloomfield, Mary Dolinar, of
Gerard
course,
Simonelli.
Yep.
And Tenny Ray
Ray.
and
Hi, Tenny.
there's more on top.
Oh,
But anyway, really found it interesting. If you didn't see the 3 clips I played, or should I play them again?
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
If you just tuned in and you didn't see what I had played, I'm going to do it one more time. So the first clip is a house that we removed this spirit from over 2 years ago. And this was the first clip that we knew it was there. And here is that clip. Just crazy. And like I said, you can't hear her, what questions she's asking, because in order to ungarble what the spirit was saying.
I can hear it clear.
It garbled what she was saying. Oh, I can hear the spirit now.
Yeah,
it's her. You can't
right.
hear what she's saying anymore. So that was what and again, we were at the house. We got our own EVPs. We've got all sorts of other evidence. That was just one piece of it. So we cleared the thing out. So the next message we got was what it said to me after or during the process of removing it. Here was that clip. And they shouldn't be able to come back in as the entryways are now blocked. So that was the message left 2 years ago. Now, like I said, last night I played a clip from a new, same private home investigation, same situation, and this was the message first thing on the EVP. So, obviously it knew that we'd probably at some point be showing up, and we will. So anyway, just wanted to share that because it's fascinating stuff. The fact that, like I said, it's been 2.5 years or 2 years, 3 months, and they don't forget. Time doesn't matter. Time is irrelevant to them. And
they remember you.
They remember very, very well. I don't mind the positive ones remembering. It's the negative ones that make it a little more uneasy, but that's what it is. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Hope it helped with other investigators as to what can happen, what does happen. Know that once you open that door and start interacting,
you can't stop that.
You can't stop it. It never ends. So looks like we're going to Vegas.
Yes, I love Vegas.
All right.
Just want to say thank you again to the other people that just pops in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yep.
So thank you. Hope that, maybe passed on a little information about what we've experienced. And, we'll see what the future brings and what can be done about this. Yeah. I think we know what needs to be done again. And, I'm sure they'll be expecting it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Thank you to Anthony, Simonelli, Brenda, Keith, Bailey. Hello, Kina. Michael Scott.
Hold on. Yes. Michael Scott has a question.
Okay.
The last clip. Yes, Michael, what about the last clip? We'll give him time to type. While Michael types, like I said, we came across this thing. Over 2 years ago, and
is that the one?
Yes, Michael, that is correct. That is the one Joe sent yesterday, and we noticed right off the bat it called us out, which immediately told us we had come across this entity prior. So anyway, like I said, for all our investigating community, we just wanted to share that. Hope it helps if you do come up against something. And I use the word negative because this isn't, as far as we know, demonic by any means. Demonic is completely different, but it's a negative entity, and up to what level, not 100% sure, but we will do everything we can to prevent any further problems that this thing is causing, as we did 2 years ago. But anyway, again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope that that shed some light on some of the things that can happen. And I see a comment again from Michael. He says it's cocky. It is, no doubt about it. like I said, those were such tiny little fragments of what we actually received. But again, being a private investigation, we'll never reveal that information. So the rest of it is kept quiet. But the fact that it called us out was a sure sign we had come across this thing before. So
Yeah.
anyway, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful night. And
Vincent just popped in also. Hi, Vincent.
all right. Have a wonderful evening.
you, guys.
Enjoy your work week. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. Have a great night.